Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's happening, family? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it is politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, the one and only Jake Paul, he has a new opponent that he will be facing for a big money Netflix fight. Now, we all remember his last Netflix fight was a huge spectacle, right? A huge spectacle because he fought, hands down, one of the greatest boxers of all time in Iron Mike Tyson. The big topic, the big discussion of that fight was the massive age gap and the fact that Tyson hasn't had a pro fight in years. So they're like, what the hell is Tyson doing? We all knew the money. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, the Paul brothers has built this huge resume, this huge empire, all from social media before it was really big like it is now. And so a lot of people, they want in. A lot of people want some of that wealth. So Tyson said, let me go ahead and do this. And when I tell you, it was the worst. It was such a waste of time fight. It gained so many people at the Cowboy Stadium. I forget the specific name, but they had it held there, and it was a lot. It was a lot, but it was a waste of time. In my opinion, like all of Jake Paul's fights, a waste of time. Now, a lot of folks will say, give the man his props. He's a boxer. Now, you can now consider him a boxer. Look, I don't box. I'm just giving you my honest opinion on this. The fighters that Jake Paul has fought has been they're all washed up former MMA fighters who hasn't had a last boxing bout in years. They're either much older, the weight levels is all discombobulated, like this upcoming one that I'm going to share with later on the show. And so it's a lot, but that's one story. Another headline we'll discuss today is journalist Joy Reid, former MSNBC host, shares how much she was making at MSNBC compared to her male colleagues or compared to other colleagues. I'm not sure if it's specific, if it was male colleagues, but I'll read a little more. We'll discuss more during the program. But she shares basically how she really wasn't appreciated at MSNBC, which is now going to be called MS Now. And we have a couple of other stories. Hopefully, we get through to it today. So, again, my friends, thank you so much for taking 1 hour of your time to tune in to yet another great episode. Thank you for your continuous support. Please share with a friend, share with family. If you happen to be watching us right now on our YouTube channel, hello. Please subscribe, like, share with a friend, share with family. We want to continue to grow our viewerships, grow our subscribers as well. So please continue to keep that momentum. We love to see it. In addition to the YouTube, which you can stream us on, by the way, that YouTube channel is the Arrington Gavin Show YouTube channel. You can also stream us on Goatverse TV. That's right, Goatverse TV. It's available on all platforms. You can download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store. You can also download it on Roku as well as Amazon Fire TV. Again, that is Goatverse TV. Goatverse TV. And then you can also listen to us wherever you listen to your podcast. We're available on all major podcast platforms. You can also listen to us in one of our 2 radio affiliates. For example, you probably listen to us right now in New Orleans. What's going on in New Orleans? You'll probably listen to us right now on WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, only on WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. Then we're going to move it on to the Metro Atlanta area, to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on WDJY. So before we move forward, we always look to start the show with some a fun fact just to kind of break the ice in a sense. A fun fact that's like, oh, leaves people like saying, I did not know that. Thank you. You know how it feels when you're having a conversation with somebody and one of the others like, I did not know that. Okay. Oh, wow. That's what we love to do, fun facts. So today's fun fact is about the man of the hour who we're going to be talking about later on the show, Jake Paul. Did you know that Jake Paul really started on Disney? He did not start on YouTube like his brother. See, I thought all of them just started their careers on YouTube. No, Jake Paul was on Disney. He starred as Dirk Main on Disney Channel show, I can't even say the word, Bizaardvark. Yes, that's exactly how it's spelled, and that's exactly how it's pronounced. Bizaardvark. From 2016 to 2018. So let me tell you something. If you look back and you think of all the public figures that are grown now that started their careers on Disney, it's like, Disney, you done breeded a lot of buck wild kids, ain't you? When they were on Disney, they were like, oh, they're so precious. And then when they got out, they were raising hell. I mean, come on, perfect example, Miley Cyrus. Whoa. Boy, she ain't no little girl no more. She went buck wild. I mean, buck wild. And it just, again, it's mature. It's mature. It ain't really buck wild. I'm exaggerating, but it's just a huge transition from, she said, I am trying to separate. I've grown up. Please do not always call me Hannah Montana. Don't do that. Likewise, Raven Simone. Who else? Shia LaBeouf. Hello, Even Stevens. That was my show right there. The twins. What was the twins' names from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody? Dylan and somebody, Cole Sprouse or whatever. I forget. I don't know. I think that's their names. But they've also changed as well. So it's just interesting. It's interesting. But I did not know that about Jake Paul. I'll kid you not. I didn't follow the Paul brothers like that, by the way. I wasn't really watching YouTube like that when I was younger. And so yeah, it was interesting coming across. I'm like, oh, he started his career on Disney. But hey, parents had 2 talented kids. And now they're continuing to grow careers. They're the most talked about brothers in I wouldn't say Hollywood, but just in public media. Whether if it's, you got Logan Paul building a huge career in the WWE. You have Jake Paul that's building a career as a boxer, somewhat boxer. I think I call him like the ultimate like celebrity boxer. I won't even say just pro boxer, and I'll explain why later on. But look, my friends, we're gonna take a commercial break. Do not go anywhere. We got a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. We will be right back after these commercial breaks.
What's up, y'all? Welcome now.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, that's that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In GOATs, we trust.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, fam. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. So I want to bring up this story here. Jake Paul, I don't have anything against him, for one. So before y'all start saying, Arrington, it's not like you're hating. I'm not. If I am hating, it's because the man makes bank on a lot of stuff off of these nonsense waste of time fights. But he's done a lot of interesting things in his career that has gained him huge popularity, wealth, and the whole 9 yards. But I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this here. It has been announced that Jake Paul's next big fight will be against another well-known name in the sport of boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, when I tell you Gervonta Tank Davis is probably the next Floyd Mayweather, in my opinion. Hell, he might even turn around and be better than Floyd Mayweather. Gervonta Davis, 30 years old, is had a career of, and I say had because I thought he had retired, but I guess obviously not. He has a total, his careers is a total of 31 fights, 30 wins, 28 of them by KO, and 1 draw. The fight class that he's in, super featherweight, lightweight, and light featherweight. The man is 5'5", 155 pounds. Is he 100? I think he's 155 pounds. Let me check real quick here. I'm sorry. 133 pounds. 5'5", 133 pounds. And he's fighting a man who's 6'1", 199.4 pounds. Both have a huge different reach, obviously. The funny thing is that a former boxer on had shared his thoughts on this, and he basically said, you know what, boxing is starting to turn to the WWE. And I believe it was boxer Ryan Garcia had shared that. And honestly, I don't fully disagree with them. And look, I'm a wrestling fan, and wrestling storyline might be it's theater, right? It's entertainment. Now the stunts are obviously real. When they, those bumps that they take and stuff, that's real stuff. But in comparison to the sport of boxing, stunts are really like he's saying boxing is officially the WWE. I mean, it's stupid. It's dumb how you go from you have to compete in the same weight class to bump that. Let's get a man that's 200 pounds to fight some guy that's basically 130. I'm not even gonna add 3 pounds. 130, 5'5", 6'1". Let's see how we're gonna do. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I hate when these boxers do anything they can for the big paycheck. I really just and hey, it's like you got your exhibitions, for charity, but this ain't for charity. This is going in a pocket. I believe Mike Tyson came out of retirement at age like 54, 55, maybe older than that, for $20 million for one night. Hey, ain't a bad idea. Ain't a bad idea. But for so many folks that paid to go see this, the spectacle, and then it turns out to be trash. I mean, what do you have to say about that? So it says here, Netflix will soon be hosting another major boxing event, the sports streaming services, which boasts 300 million subscribers and will televise the September 13th battle of pound for pound great between. Well, they've had the Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. So that's one big fight that folks have been sharing about. Now, I already mentioned about the past fight between Tyson over at Arlington, Texas. Now Paul will face Gervonta Davis in a Netflix boxing match at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia on November 14th, nearly 1 year to the day from his bout with Tyson. Now, Ring Magazine initially reported that the bout is scheduled for November 15th following a now deleted post from the official Netflix Turkey account with the same details. Now, Uncrowned successfully subsequently learned that the report venue is currently booked for another Big Dump Eyes tour, and so hence why they moved it to the 14th. Now, Paul 12-1 with 7 KOs, and let me just see exactly where those KOs came from, okay? Because I know one of them was former NBA star Nate Robinson, who's not a boxer. Let me just again explain that. He's not a professional boxer. Huge size difference too. Huge size difference. So, okay, boom. He had a win against Julio Chavez. I can see that. Still nobody. Tyson, already mentioned that. Mike Perry, another former UFC guy. Nate Diaz, another MMA guy. Tom Fury. Anderson Silva, huge age difference. Tyron Woodley twice. Ben Askren, and then Nate Robinson. Y'all, I'm sorry. Jake Paul is not a pro. He might be an amateur at best, and I want to see him fight real boxers, like legit, same weight class, same card. Let me see him build it. Not just always have these main event fights against these, figures. I mean, next thing you don't see him fight, I don't know, Tiger King, or next thing gonna fight Chris Christie. Next thing gonna fight Chad Ochocinco. Next thing gonna fight. I mean, it's on and it doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, as I continue, Paul was in talks to face a former unified heavyweight champion, Anthony Joshua, next, but the bout had reportedly collapsed due to network issues. The internet star turned boxer defeated his second former world champion, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., by unanimous decision in California. This was in June in California to earn his first world ranking. Oh, okay. So now I guess it makes it official. It was widely believed that Davis, who's already went over his record, would rematch Lamont Roach in August after the pair fought the controversial draw in this past March. Now, following Davis' infamous kneel down controversy, the two-time division champion, however, was forced to trade a fight date for a court date after being arrested for a misdemeanor battering domestic violence charge in July, after his ex-girlfriend accused him of striking her on the back of her head and slapping her at an alleged altercation. The charge was dropped after an alleged victim refused to prosecute. So Gervonta got to get his life together first before he goes out trying to get the easy check. Because I looked up his worth. He worth about 10 mil. That's what I Googled it. That's what Google says. Could obviously be more than that. Now, Jake Paul obviously has a lot more funds. Got a lot more money. All right. I personally, y'all, I get kind of tired of whenever there's a Jake Paul fight. I don't even pay it any mind most of the time. But when I saw this, I was like, it's no different from if he wanted to go ahead and try and fight. Because I think his brother fought Mayweather, and I believe Mayweather might have won that one. I can't remember. It was weird because such a huge, the David and Goliath size comparison. I mean, it was weird. And I feel as though some of these fights are a bit disrespectful to the sport of boxing and for those who truly, truly, truly appreciate the sport. Now, I watch boxing here and there. I watch MMA here and there. I respect both sports. I think they're two of the most intense sports in the world. Okay. But it's just, my question, I guess, for you all is, do you think Jake Paul is helping the sport of boxing or hurting the sport of boxing? Because as far as for female boxing, a lot of female fighters truly respect him because his promotion that he has pays the female fighters extremely well. And so kudos to him for doing that. Now, what he does do is bring a lot of attention to the sport of boxing, because people probably will pay more to see a Jake Paul fight than they will see between two experienced fighters who are successful. If Gervonta Davis fought somebody else that was not Jake Paul, I guarantee you it will be the audience and the viewership numbers will be a total difference on a lower scale, not as high between this two bout. So again, interesting, but we will follow up and continue this. I'm looking forward to seeing the fight. Do I think it's going to be an actual, like, is this going to be a tough one? I think it's going to be somewhat of a joke. I hope I'm wrong. But again, this fight is happening Friday, November 14th on Netflix at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Jake Paul will take on Gervonta Tank Davis. All 133 pounds of Gervonta Tank Davis. Oh my gosh. I tell you, man. I can't be mad they ain't making that money. Okay. Oh, let's move it on, y'all. Let's move it on to this story, man. So you all know, due to the ending of public broadcasting, you heard NPR, PBS, those networks are eventually going to go away, right? They're eventually going to go away. It was shared that one of NPR's longest running voices would be leaving amid of Trump funding cuts. And I'm like, wait, what? Not him. So let me go ahead and let me see if I can trying to find a image. I thought I had one. Well, I guess I don't. It's okay. Anyway, so NPR's All Things Considered host Ari Shapiro leaving amid the Trump funding cuts. Now, according to Variety, it says here, Shapiro, after 10 years co-hosting NPR's All Things Considered news program, is leaving the public radio broadcaster at the end of September. His exit comes after President Trump's successful moves to defund public media, although Sharpiro said that's unrelated to his decision to leave NPR, which I do believe that. I think for, hey, he spent 25 years at NPR. 25 is a solid number to say, look, most folks are leaning digital. Most folks are leaning independent media. Most folks are going podcasting, this and the other. He's obviously gained a fan base for, the past 25 years. People love him. People know him. Why not go independent, become your own boss? He already has, the experience talking behind a mic. So why not? Sharpiro wrote on Instagram, after a decade. Oh, he says, it has been a wild privilege to spend 25 years at NPR. After a decade as host of All Things Considered, I've decided to move on at the end of September. I have more to say over at arishapiro.substack.com. For now, let me just express what a joy it has been to share stories and conversations with you. The work of public radio is more important today than it has ever been. I intend to continue supporting it, and I hope you will too. Thank you for listening. In a post on Substack, Sharpiro wrote, "My decision to move on has nothing to do with the challenges facing public media, the news media, or the country. Those are real and profound, and I plan to continue engaging with them in meaningful ways, but they aren't informing this transition." According to Sharpiro, when he became a host of All Things Considered in the late 2015, he said he said he could imagine doing it for a decade. He wrote, "I'm proud to say I've never missed a deadline in my career, and I marked a decade at All Things Considered host. It feels right to stick to this one." Now, early during the month, the Corporation of Public Broadcasting, which provided funding to, as I mentioned earlier, NPR and PBS, shut down after Trump led a successful effort to kill federal funding, which, in my opinion, is extremely sad because public broadcast media is extremely impactful to this nation. When you look in rural America, when you look at your kids when they learn things from certain cartoon shows, I remember, what was it, like, Author, Franklin, the turtle. I mean, so many pro Sesame Street. I mean, the list goes on and on with so many amazing educational programs that helped me when I was a kid, that I see now helping students now. And I have a lot of friends that work in public media and host, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It really is, because they have to think about it. And when I mentioned earlier rural America, people out in the country, that's how they get their news. That's how they hear what's happening through public media. Now you're removing that. Why? Because everything that doesn't agree with you is the fake news, the woke, a danger to society. Like, I mean, this man is such a joke, it's not even funny. Now, he was killing the funding for public media over what Trump and conservatives claim is, oh, you got it, a left-leaning bias at NPR and PBS. Now, I remember a story a while back at NPR where there was a gentleman who did not like the fact they either had hired or they had a way more liberal voices and contributors at NPR than they did conservative. And this guy was no, far right winger. I mean, he most likely had held conservative views, but I was kind of on his side with this. Like, be balanced. This was a guy that had been there for well over like 30 years. So he knew the original mission of NPR, and NPR has always been, and their mission was to be that nonpartisan. You never heard the back and forth. Like, no. So why was it that this changed? And honestly, that was whoever was in leadership at that time was a bad call, and he did not like that. Now, do I see him being, front and center with Trump saying, you're absolutely right, Mr. President, because it's left-leaning bias. That's what all is. It's left-leaning bias. But I brought that up because someone have a case. Congress approved Trump's rescission package, which cut $1.1 billion with the B dollars in funding for CPB over the next 2 years that had previously been approved. Now, the memo to NPR staff, Edith Chaplin, who's the editor-in-chief and acting chief content officer, said Shapiro's final show will be September 26th, and we'll toast him in the newsroom after the show wraps. We're excited to see what Ari does next as he embarks on creating more of his own work. We have also discussed keeping the door open for any opportunities to work together on specific projects in the future. Meanwhile, Chaplin herself is also leaving NPR sometime in September or October, in addition to Susan Stamberg, a 54-year veteran. 54-year veteran of NPR and former host of All Things Considered, also mentioned her retirement. Well, shoot, at 54 years, I would expect you to retire, girl. Since joining All Things Considered, NPR's flagship afternoon news magazine in 2015, Sharpiro has filed stories from above the Arctic Circle and abroad Air Force One, and has covered wars in Iraq, Ukraine, and Israel. Prior to co-hosting All Things Considered, Sharpiro spent 2 years as NPR's international correspondent based in London, coming after 4 years serving at NPR's White House correspondent during President Obama's 2 terms. Now, he was NPR's justice correspondent for 5 years during President George W. Bush's administration. He started at NPR as an intern for correspondent Nina Totenberg. Sharpiro has won 3 National Edward R. Murrow Awards for a global series that links climate change, migration, and far-right political leaders, for his reporting on the life and death of Breonna Taylor, and for his coverage of the Trump administration's asylum policies on the U.S.-Mexico border. The list goes on and on with high recognition that this man has, so we will see. Oh, it says here Sharpiro has also performed as a singer in some of the world's most storied venues, from Carnegie Halls to Hollywood Bowl as a singer. He has made frequent appearances with the Little Orchestra, Pink Martini. He debuted his memoir, The Best Strangers in the World, published in 2023, was a New York Times bestseller. Look, this guy is accomplished. I doubt it that whatever he does next, it won't be successful. So let's not be, so sad. Now, again, it'll be weird not hearing the voice on NPR because, hey, I listen to NPR and I know who Ari is. And like I said, 25 years, he put in his time. It's time to move on, get with the times. And hey, he said, you never know. He might just do more music. He might go, as I mentioned earlier, streaming, independent. A lot of folks are just doing shows on Substack. I mean, hell, you got Chris Matthews, who you haven't seen in a while, brought back Hardball, which is on Substack. It's a platform for a lot of journalists. So it's interesting. It will be interesting to see what will happen next for Ari Sharpiro. We're going to take a commercial break, my friends. When we come back, we have a lot more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Please do not go anywhere. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
Joy Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at JazarenLearningInstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
What is happening, y'all? What is happening? Welcome back. I'm like, welcome like it's just the first time. No, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show. So next up, I want to talk about former MSNBC star, current journalist, and current host of the YouTube show, The Joy Reid Show. Joy is a very remarkable individual, I will say. I'm a fan of Joy. I don't always agree with everything she says, but she is pretty solid for the most part. And so it had, we have watched her make huge success in the world of cable news, continue to climb up the ladder in MSNBC, at then MSNBC, which is now MS Now. Like I used to, welcome to MS Now. Oof, just weird. But anyway, she has come out explaining that there was a huge pay difference between her and her colleagues at MSNBC. So let me read you this here, reported by theroot.com. Joy Ann Reid was let go from MSNBC. Show was canceled, saying because of ratings, but to her knowledge, that was a crock of bull. She's like, no, it was not ratings. You know why? Like, come on now. I was one of the president's biggest critics, and he, networks are starting to bend the knee, so that's why she let me go. That's the story. She's continued to say throughout her career, and and now, but she's speaking out about her time on the network and the hardship she had to face, especially as one of few Black news anchors on air, which is very true, because there was a lady, Melissa something Perry. I'm blanking on the full name, and my apologies, but I remember she had a weekend show, which was dope. She was an awesome individual. Then you had Tiffany Cross. Then you had Joy Ann Reid. I mean, as far as having their own shows, I think that was the only three that I can recall that had their own show on MSNBC that was of color, at least for females. But shockingly, she revealed about how much she was allegedly paid for her hit show. It says here, Reid was a keynote speaker during the recent Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival. C-Suite Soiree. According to People magazine, she spoke about the plight of being a black woman at the top of the journalism industry. Quote, she said, "The cure of competency means you're the best person at what you do. You know more than everyone else because you've had to do more work and more research to get where you are. And so, therefore, you're the one everybody calls." Reid said her show, The Readout, was canceled by the network after nearly 5 years on air. At the time, MSNBC claimed it was due to significant drops in viewership after the 2024 presidential election. It says here, "I worked in the business where I was paid a tenth of salary of people who did literally my same job the whole time I worked there. And we knew that any man that was doing what I was doing was going to make more than me. And that there were going to be able to negotiate higher salaries even at lower ratings." You know what's interesting? You start hearing the truth about MSN now, than MSNBC, because Tiffany Cross had talked had shared a few words about MSNBC. She was let go and she had a successful weekend program. She talked smack specifically about Joe Scarborough. That you can look back on her podcast, Native Land Podcast. She mentioned it. I think it was like around maybe the first or second episode of the startup of that podcast, which I recommend to check it out. Is Tiffany Cross, and her two co-hosts, Andrew Gillum. Excuse me, Andrew Gillum, who's a former Democratic nominee for Florida governor. He came really close to beating Ron DeSantis. He's also a former mayor, I believe, of Tallahassee, and also Angela Rye, former CNN commentator. Article reported that Reid was paid $3 million each year for hosting her show, but things changed in 2024. Which I'll take $3 million. $3 million, that's good money right there. But hey, I don't know how much work she probably deserved well more. But anyway, things changed in 2024 when she and other anchors were given pay cuts to save money for the network. Rachel Maddow, host of the Rachel Maddow Show on the network, on the other hand, raked. Hold on. I gotta look at this number again. The Rachel Maddow Show, which is a weekly show. It was a Monday through Friday program, but it now turned, I think, just every Mondays, which is weird. Every Mondays, she raked in nearly $30 million for her show. $30 million. Now, I don't know if that was, made in small. I mean, even if it was like, made in small increments, she would still be making more than Joy. So although Maddow's show had been on air for 17 seasons to her 5 years, Reid remained one of the most high-profile women from the network, especially in light of Trump's attacks on the press and to DEI. Only 6% of journalists in America are black, according to PEW research. And just as it's as well known fact that black women are paid less than their white or male peers. Reid's case emphasizes a clear problem. That's very true. That is extremely true in that. And please, to all my white brothers and sisters out there, please do not get so offended and don't pull up a Jillian Michaels because they're like, oh my gosh, like it's reality. It's the truth. I mean, we already talked about the wage differences between male and females, which is extremely sad. But you also got to look at when it comes to minorities and uh uh and white individuals. It's a huge difference. They get the sort of presumption of brilliance, the Elon Musk presumption, where people are like, you look like a genius, you must be a genius, but they're not, she said, of white men. They work less hours and make more than us, get bigger raises, more opportunities, and more grace. This is the world we live in. Now, I wouldn't say all of that is false. I will kind of pinpoint some things in there, but she has some truth to the fact that again, males are provided more opportunities, males get more money. This isn't the first time Reid has called out the Tesla and ex CEO. In fact, her sharp criticism of Musk and President Trump played a role in the cancellation of her show. So they say. That's what she previously stated. After being fired, the journalist said she remains thankful. I am not sorry I stood up for those things because those things are of God. But in the end, where I really land and where I've landed today is just gratitude. When the news came out that her show was getting canceled, I mean, everybody gathered up. Let's support our sisters, let's support. And there was always mixed reviews like, okay, why is she really getting canceled? Is it due to ratings? Because for the most part, people were criticizing, or not people, but everybody was doing these like, we have to boycott. We have to really let them know, like, you should not cancel Joy. And we stand with Joy. We stand with Joy. And it's like all those same people at the time were worried when when her show was losing ratings. But to her knowledge, I mean, not to her knowledge, to what Joy is saying, there was nothing wrong with the ratings. Nothing wrong with the ratings. We were still just as popular as any other program, might maybe even more on those on that network at the time. Now, MSNBC as a whole, they weren't doing so good compared to CNN, Fox News. Well, I'll take it like this. I think CNN was at the time lower than MSNBC, and then of course Fox News was number one. You still had News Nation trying to be a competitor. They're still up and coming. But yes, it's unfortunate. I mean, we're gonna hear a lot of Joy Ann Reid speak about her time at MSNBC. I think it's good to get it out because hey, she has her own show. She owns her own company now. She is her own boss. She can say whatever the hell she wants to say. So she's gonna say it. She's gonna say it. It's nothing to to be sued over. Like, I mean, she's saying, hey, look, what I was paid wasn't fair. And that was my experience at MSNBC. But you can tell she knew the platform that she had. She didn't make it a big deal. She probably did, but it was behind closed doors. So now she has the opportunity to say, hey, look, I want to tell y'all the truth about something. I really want to tell y'all the truth about something. This is how it went down. And it's unfortunate, y'all. It's extremely unfortunate. But as I mentioned, continue to support Joy Ann Reid. I do. I subscribe to her new show. It's dope. I mean, I honestly I support all folks that get into the digital space, podcasting, getting to know new, like, I mean, because I'm still growing, right? I'm still growing as an independent voice, as an independent content creator. I'm still growing. And I love seeing the pros who's had long, great careers, who had staff, okay, who had their own folks and doing it themselves. It's so interesting, and so I enjoy it. So again, I wish her nothing but the best. I would love to have her on the show to get her take on some things. I would love to be on her show, get some take on some things. So yeah, just continue to support all content creators, whether if it's left leaning, right leaning, support, independent leaning, support. That's all I ask y'all. That's all I ask y'all to do is support. All right, my friends. So let me go ahead and move it on here. I want to bring up this story before we end it here. Target. Now, if you are a person of color shopping at Target, shame on you. Shame. No, I'm joking. I ain't that mad at you. I ain't that mad. I'm still struggling trying to not to to go to Target too. I find myself going in there and I'm covering my face and hood like if I'm trying to run from TMZ or something. Like, do they see me? Someone just look. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Talk to me, but don't look at me. Like, it's difficult. It's difficult. And I'm not like a diehard Target shopper, but it's certain things I'm like, okay, gotta get from Target. Anyway. So Target CEO stepped down after the company struggles. So the interesting thing is, and I don't have time to play a video that I wanted to that involved Tabitha Brown, famous influencer Tabitha Brown. She was on a hit financial podcast called Earn Your Leisure, and she was explaining the backlash that she had faced when she was basically telling folks to uh she, even though she didn't say it, but it kind of seemed like that, like not to protest Target because hey, there's other black owned businesses that are on these shelves and this help us out here. But let me go to this story because I said I won't have time to really mention that video. But okay, yeah, Target CEO steps down. I believe after 10 years, oh, I'm sorry, 20 years. Target named as an insider as its next chief executive officer, a decision that comes as the discounted retailer tries to reverse a persistent sale malice and to revive its reputation as the place to go for affordable but stylish products. Y'all, when has Target ever been affordable? That is that got me laughing right there. Did they just say affordable? Affordable. Look, Target ain't affordable, but I mean it's a cool store to shop at, but it ain't no affordable. Apparently, the company lost close to was it 12 billion? I think it was around like 12 billion dollars that they had lost. Yeah, 12 billion dollars the company had lost due to the boycotts. I mean, this boycotts was really it was led by a few folks, but one of them being Pastor Jamal Bryant of New Birth Church out in the Atlanta area. And he was front and center, man. He was, he had the platform. He was on the news platforms each and every time. And the reason why they were protesting is because when Trump rolled back the DEI initiatives, so many programs is like, or companies are like, oh, we good? Okay, thank God. And they just quick to go with it. Which was sad because Trump did not like give them an ultimatum. He did not. And that's why a lot of people are getting this heat because Trump never gave these companies ultimatums if they stuck with their DEI programs. They never did. The reason why I say that is because look at Costco. Costco, it was one of the first ones to say, no, we're gonna keep it. We're not gonna change nothing. Hell, I remember in the state of Virginia, my home state, the Republican Attorney General Jason Myers was hoping, he was trying, hoping that Costco would rethink this. I think him and alongside other folks that were encouraging companies and other corporations to roll back the DEI. Like he wasn't a fan of the fact that Costco continued the DEI initiative, which, as I mentioned before, y'all, it is a great initiative. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. You want everybody to feel respected. You want everybody to feel accepted. You want to have everybody be treated equal. That's what's in those programs. Okay. And benefits for not just people of color, but for veterans, for women. But see, the way the right always promotes it is DEI is only helping the blacks. That's it. That's what they do. That's what they do. You know it's true. I'm not lying here. Minneapolis-based Target said CEO Brian Cornell, who has led the company for 11 years, would step down. The board of directors chose Chief Operating Officer Michael Fideliki, a 20-year veteran, Target veteran, to succeed him. Target, which has about 1,980 U.S. stores, has struggled to find the footing since inflation caused pinched shoppers to curtail their their discretionary spending. Consumers have complained of messy stores with merchandise that did not reflect the expensive looking but budget price niche. The long ago earned the retailer the jokingly polished nickname Target. Now, consumers boycott since late January when Target joined rival Walmart and a number of other prominent American brands in scaling back corporate diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives have compounded its predicament. Some retailers analysts were surprised the board did not pick a candidate from outside the company to turn things around. Target stock price was down more than 8% in early morning trading after the company announced the new appointee who will be succeeding the CEOs, and other quarter of disappointing sales. I mean, what do you expect, y'all? What do you expect? I would say this, y'all. Target felt the heat from, I'll just say, just from black people, because here's the thing. Us in the black community, we're the number one consumer. That's what it's so important. Why I kind of went off on the financial literacy piece when people do wasteful spending, because we spend the most. We spend the most. Why can't we do something smart? Let's change there. I want everybody to buy from us. How about that? So we can spend freely how we want to. How about that? Let's not continue to be the number one consumer in things. America as a whole is already number one consumer, but black people, let's not be the number one consumer in certain things. Like, that's why it's so awesome when you hear stories about like black owned beauty supply stores, black owned just when it comes to the health industry, especially supplies. We're not the number one we don't have number one ownership majority of the time. That's not right, But what else do you want to say? What else do you want to say with that? I want to ask you before we end this program, have y'all fully gave up on Target? Have y'all fully gave up on any companies that have rolled back the DEI initiative? Because let's be honest, it can be difficult when you're used to going to a spot that's part of your everyday regiment. Like, it's hard to adjust, right? But at the end of the day, you have multiple black owned businesses that you could be supporting. I'll shout out e-commerce site called WeBuyBlack.com, I believe. Check them out. And check out just literally do a list of black owned businesses, y'all. Black owned businesses. Look it up. Peace and blessings, y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. I gotta go. Peace.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.